All right. Hi, John. I'm ready this time.
There's no easy road to being a great football player, whatever level it is. You got to be committed to it, and you got to work at it. And again, I would go back and say, don't be afraid to fail.
Jason, I want to hear about your trip.
You want to hear about my trip?
I do.
Yeah, okay. So this is kind of crazy. This is my bastard ho mom. No, my mom's lovely.
What?
I'm
People
insulting her.
called me out for saying Mama sucks in Doki Doki Panic, just because the character sucked on Mother's Day though. So people
Okay,
were like,
well-
whoa there, buddy. Like,
Well, okay. So the plan was, I booked a flight to Colorado to see my mom, and I booked
Yeah.
a flight back. But she surprised me because she gave me her car. That's why she's a bastard ho mom.
yeah,
No, that's in a nice way.
that's the
I mean
best
that in the nice
possible
way.
gift. It did make me feel a little better when I learned that about the fact that we had a lot of guest sessions in the tank, because I was like, he can take a
whatever.
sweet time driving back.
Oh, it took me like 4 days to drive back.
It's a long drive.
When I do, well, I mean, because I don't do freeways and I don't do GPS if I can, like on road trips. So I just kind of like winged it.
Going at old school.
Yeah, I went east and I went south until I was in Florida. And
When you're that far away, you can just use the sun and sky to navigate.
pretty much, yeah. It seems like I was in Kansas for 25 years, even though I think it was just one night.
Did you think about a goofy movie at any point during your trip?
I'm not a goofy movie. I didn't see that until I was like 24 for the first time. So no, that's not like a childhood touchstone for me.
It's also more West Coast, but just wondering, cutting across
Are they
states.
in? Are they in Kansas? I don't understand what the
No,
even-
it's just the thought of a big road trip. For some reason, I always think.
No,
about
I was thinking of Dumb and Dumber. That's my road trip movie. No, not really.
Dumb
I
and
didn't think
Dumber
about
was-
it at all.
When I saw that, probably the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my whole life as a kid.
It is-
I was
it is a
absolutely
pretty funny
floored by
movie.
how hilarious it was.
Well, anyway, that's skipping over the whole damn trip because that was the end. So, the way out there,
Yeah.
the trip out there, the day before I left, I was an el stupido idioto. I was stupid. I was also very sick, if you recall, the last recording
right.
session, so I was still kind of sick.
You did a good job pushing through it. You just kind of raised your volume level in a few parts, like kind of getting over the sick sound by just yelling.
Well, after we recorded that, I actually got worse again. Like, I felt like
too
shit again. It was like the adrenaline got me through that day.
Probably
But-
made it worse.
Well, anyway, the day like before I was gonna fly out, I'm like, you know what? I gotta like get out of the house. I gotta like get moving just to prove that I can, right? Without like dying and throwing up all over myself.
Yeah.
So I drove out to shoot some hoops outdoors, not indoors. Because if I go indoors, then there's a chance I can get roped into like playing with other people.
Yeah.
There's a park that's like always empty near me that I went to, but I forgot to bring shoes or sandals, so I fucking played barefoot.
You played barefoot?
I'm so stupid because it tore up the bottom of my feet so bad
Jeez.
that I legitimately could not walk. I know.
What are you doing?
I'm very stupid. Well, I mean, first off, I normally drive barefoot. Like most of the time, I drive barefoot, so like I
It's-
didn't notice till I already got there.
It's a vibe. It's totally different from driving with any kind of shoe on. Even sandals. It's a different feel
Yeah.
when your toe is actually connected to the car.
Well, people will be like, well, one, they'll say that that's illegal, which any Google search, I'm like, no, not really. It doesn't seem like that's illegal. Plus, how are the cops, how are they going to know? Nobody, they can't, they don't have x-ray vision.
Jason, could you step out of the vehicle, please?
Exactly. They're not fucking, yeah.
You just plead the fifth and refuse to speak.
Exactly.
Because your shoes are off. Can we search the car, Jason?
Yeah, it's fucking, like, no, you're not going to get a fucking ticket for driving with your shoes off.
Jason,
Even
that's
if it
a
wasn't,
suspicious number of basketballs in the back seat. Anything we should know about? Is there anything in those? What
I
did
do
you
have
have, like 7?
I threw out 2 of them recently.
Okay.
One of them hurt because one of them was like my daily driver ball. I bought it with my first Subway paycheck, and that was like my like daily driver basketball for many years.
got rid
But
of
it was a sad sight. It was like putting down a pet. It was it wasn't even round anymore. There were like tumors on it. Like I didn't need to keep that.
That's so sad. That is like putting down a pet.
I know.
Oh, no.
Like I bought this ball when I was a teenager with my first job and my first paycheck. Yeah. It was kind of sad. But Well, anyway, that wasn't. What the fuck was I even talking about? Yeah, I was talking about how I destroyed
You screwed your feet
Okay,
up.
so the thing is, I didn't notice the foot pain that day, and I didn't notice it walking through the Orlando airport. But I had a layover flight to Charlotte, and then as soon as I got off the plane, I'm just like, oh, I can't walk. What the fuck? I can't walk at all. So like I like hopped and limped because it was mostly my left foot that was bothering me. My right foot hurt a little, but like not bad at all. The left one was like I couldn't put any weight on it at all, or else I was just in excruciating pain. So like I hobbled my way through the Charlotte airport, and and both flights they fucked up the seating. Like I went to sit in my seat and there was somebody already in my seat. Both my flights out there. The first one was fine because it was just like he said, like it was a 3-seater, right? And he just he had the buffer seat, but like it turns out there was 3 of us, so he had to move over one, and I took my seat. There's never empty seats on flights. I don't know how often you fly, but they're always fucking jam packed.
I haven't flown since 2019, and then the last time I flew before that was like
okay, so not
way
often.
long ago. Yeah,
I mean, it's not often for me either, but I've been on enough planes to know that like seeing empty seats is pretty rare. Maybe there's like one a flight. It's like it just doesn't happen.
It's really rare. Yeah.
Like you should know. But anyway, so I took my seat. That flight was fine. But you know what? I'll talk about the Pokemon DLC right now. So
okay, let's do it.
Pokemon came out. Pokemon fucking Scarlet and Violet came out, and I never played the DLC. Like I played through the game in about 2 days, and then I made a video in like 1 day, just so I could have it out as fast as possible. And it was a fail. The video flopped, but whatever. So the DLC came out, and I just never played it. And I was thinking, you know what? For the trip, for something to do, I'm finally going to play the Pokemon DLC. So I buy it. I download it onto my Switch. Like in the game, I go into the DLC area just to see that I can, like that I got it working right. Yeah. And I did. So I take my Switch out, I put it in the case, and I start putting it in my backpack, and I'm like, this is taking up a little more space than I would like. And then I remembered I have a Switch Lite. Let's switch to the Switch Lite. So I transferred my save data from my regular Switch to my Switch Lite, and I brought the Switch Lite with me. On the first flight, I bust sucker open.
Oh no!
Ready to play the Pokemon DLC?
No.
The DLC does not transfer over.
Oh no!
So I couldn't play the Pokemon DLC. Do you know
the Switch Lite claims another victim.
Do you know what's stupid though? Is I'm pretty sure it would have worked a couple months ago. It was fucking game key card shit.
Oh,
you're
talking about that. There's that they implemented that new system, and it did screw things up.
That's what fucked me over.
It's not the game key card. It's actually a digital.
No, it's the game key card because I'm pretty sure in the past it would have let me re-download the DLC.
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying the terminology is the game key cards are the new Switch 2 things.
No, Switches have game key cards. I know for a fact that I could go get it and show you. Okay. It was game key cards. It was game key cards fucking me up because even though I own like the game, it's not digital. The DLC was still considered a game key card, and it would not let me re-download it onto the other system. It was like you can transfer the game key card from your Switch to your Switch Lite, but they have to be next to each other. You can't do it remotely.
Oh,
so like I would have needed to have brought my other Switch in order to transfer the game key card for the fucking DLC.
Right. You can do that with all digital games now, though, since that update. And there were people that complained about that screwing it over.
But I'm saying, like, I'm traveling. I only have one of my Switches, so I can't fucking transfer the game key card.
Yeah, I know that.
For the DLC. Yeah. So I couldn't play it. It was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It just, like, booted me out. It's like, you can't do the DLC. You don't have the DLC.
I remember several videos coming out, like, a few weeks ago, actually, about that very subject, where it was, like, people who had multiple Switches. And it was like families, and it was easy. They could use their games on all their Switches. Yeah. And since Nintendo published that OS update that was supposed to be helpful, because now your digital games you can share. It's killed the old way. Yeah,
it's the same goddamn account. Just let me re-download the DLC on my other Switch.
Yeah, they had to overcomplicate
I bought it. Just let me fucking have it in both systems.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So now I'm probably never going to play the Pokemon DLC. It's probably never going to happen.
Oh, you're just like, even though you bought it?
I don't care. Like, whatever. Fuck it. That was it. The trip was my chance. Like, the ship has sailed. I'm going to play ZA.
An enhanced
and that's going to be it.
version.
No, probably not. No.
You're done
So
with
anyway,
Violet?
the first flight to Charlotte was fine. But the second flight to Denver was the worst flight I've ever been on in my life. And it was because they fucked up the seating again. I go to my seat, and instead of it being a simple fix this time where one guy moves over, it would have required a whole shitload of people to move around. Because what happened was this elderly couple, like, oldest two motherfuckers you've ever seen. These are Civil War veterans old. They are ancient. Like, they don't look alive. These, like, old senile people booked plane, like, couple. It was a married couple, obviously. Did not book seats next to each other, but they sat next to each other anyway. And I guess just to be nice, people just kind of sat around it, you know? Like, socially. Like, even though somebody at some point realized,
I think they were
hey,
calling society's bluff a little bit there. They're
Yeah.
like, you guys aren't going to do anything about this. We're too old.
well, what happened was everything was jam-packed, and there was no obvious place for me to sit because I was the last boarding group. So, like, I show up, and it's like, okay, well, that girl's in my seat. So, like, the stewardesses are, like, untangling everything, and I'm just like, no, fuck it. Like, this had to have resulted in a seat being open somewhere, right? Like, because that's how this works.
Yeah.
Why don't I just sit there? And they're like, okay.
Oh, no.
I should have made the fucking old people sit there. Okay, so for starters, I booked like I had a window seat, and my new one was a middle seat, which whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. The guy to my left probably weighed 600 pounds. He took up legitimately a seat and a half. Like, the seat rest was up, and like, you've met me. I'm not like tiny. I already
You're
don't
somewhat
fit.
slender,
Yeah, but like,
but
I don't
you're a
fit,
tall individual.
Yeah, I don't fit well into an airplane seat as
You need
it is.
those legs need a little more leg room.
I was legitimately, I had to sit like this the whole flight. My left arm was just across my body the entire like 4-hour flight. I couldn't even play my fucking Switch because I only had this arm free. I could only
even play the
maneuver my
Switch.
right arm. I had to be like this the whole time. You know, it was worse because it was like this because I couldn't be like intruding on the guy to my right either. It was awful. And
The guy to your right was probably literally like, thank God.
the guy to my right looked like Jeremy Parrish actually.
Oh,
he was
really?
he was not actually Jeremy Parrish, but he looked like he could be a
I was
doppelganger.
about to ask. Was it?
He had
though?
had the same like dumb glasses on, and and he
Did he have the hat?
He had like a stupid hat. He was definitely older than Jeremy Parrish though.
Okay.
He probably had him by about 15 to 20 years. Like, he was a guy who was like around retirement age.
Do you think
I
he
would
was
say.
a novelist?
I don't know. I have no idea what this guy did, but he had the Jeremy Parrish glasses and kind of look going.
Yeah. Just wanted to
So anyway,
speculate a little bit
I
about
think
this
he
mystery man.
understood because this fucking guy to my left had like the loudest rap music ever just playing the whole time through his headphones, and it was so goddamn loud. It sucked. It sucked so bad. I was just stuck in one position for 4 hours, and it was awful.
At any point, did you think I should have just driven?
No, not really.
Okay.
Because I just...
But you drove
driving
back, so
there-
you know what it's like.
Well, the problem isn't driving there. The problem's always driving back. Making a trip one way is one thing, but then having to do it twice
Yeah.
sucks. Like,
But when it's
not
that far
great.
away, you can make it kind of a loop thing. Go down through Texas,
Yeah, you're right,
Louisiana.
you're right.
Hit up the
If
thrift
you-
stores.
If you punch in the route, like, without turning highways off and stuff, just into GPS, it actually takes me right past where I used to live in Texas. So
Really?
I considered going by there, but I really didn't live there long enough to like build up sentimentality, you know. So it wasn't high on my list to go visit that fucking place again.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't go to Texas. I went through Oklahoma as seen in the thrift video. I spent a lot of time in Arkansas, a lot of time in Kansas. Those are probably the two longest tenured states.
Did you buy any Razorbacks gear?
No. I saw some. I was that's where I got the Game Boy Advance SP. Like the stadium,
Yeah.
Arkansas's stadium was literally like you could almost, if there wasn't a hill in the way, you could have seen it from that place. Like, it was like right there. So I did drive by the stadium. I got out and I looked around. I didn't go in. I'm sure you probably could, because a lot of stadiums like that you can just go in.
Yeah.
But
A lot
I
of
didn't
people
do that to any
exercise
of
on
them.
the bleachers and whatnot.
Yeah. I saw quite a few college football stadiums. I saw Air Force. Wyoming was a little too far away. Wyoming was like an hour and a half out out of my way where I was in Wyoming, so I didn't go there. Yeah, I saw Air Force. I saw Colorado State. Didn't see like regular Colorado. I saw Arkansas. I saw Arkansas Pine Bluff, which is a FCS team. I saw fuck else, Ole Miss. I saw Ole Miss's stadium. That might have been it actually.
That could have been a video.
I avoided going to Tuscaloosa. I saw a sign that said Tuscaloosa like this way, and I went the other way.
Yeah.
I avoided it. Like, I don't want to go there. Fuck that.
Tuscaloosa's coming here, so.
Oh, you got to play them. That sucks.
Yeah, it's always a good way to start the season after your worst season in history, playing Alabama.
Is there like an SEC, ACC beatdown contract? Because we have to play Tennessee our first game.
That could get a little spicy. Tennessee can kind of trip over their own feet.
We're going to get fucking killed. We're going to get fucking shat on so bad.
So I've talked about this. This is kind of... So the Volunteers has to be the worst team name in the SEC, probably in all of college football.
And of course they look like a garbage convention, like garbage truck convention or whatever. Garbage truck workers convention when they're all together.
Yeah. Rocky Top is a good name for a stadium, I'll say, but the Volunteers is... Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't even talk about the actual, like, when I was out there, you know?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I hung out with my mom. I haven't seen her in a few years, so that was fun. This is probably the longest, like, continued stretch I was with my mom since I lived with her.
Really?
And like, since high school, so it's been a while.
Since high school?
Yeah, I didn't live with my mom until, like, yeah. And even then, like, if I told the story about, like, the last 2 years of high school, like, even then, she wasn't even really around.
You mentioned this to me before, like, closer to, like, when we first started, like, talking casually.
Has this ever been told on the show? Have I ever, said this? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, my mom has been married 4 times. She's on husband 4.
Husband 4.
And she's not that old. She's, like, mid-40s. So... Well, anyway, what's weird to me, what trips my head, is her newest husband she's been with the longest, yet I've seen, like, by far the least amount of. Just, yeah. So anyway, like, I'd say, like, the biggest husband impact on my life was husband 2, because that's where we moved to, like, his hometown in, like, the middle of nowhere, and we lived in his house. And they were together from when I was, like, 9 to when I was, like, 14. So those are impressionable years, right?
Extremely impressionable.
Yeah, and that's like, well, basically when they split up, he paid for us to live in an apartment, like, in the same town, but she got a new boyfriend that lived, like, hours away. So she spent most of her time there, and I just kind of lived in the apartment by myself.
Yeah, had your own apartment, which is the most badass thing you could ever have in high school.
But also, I was such a loser, I didn't take advantage. Like, I never... No girl was ever in there. I had, like, a couple guy friends over.
Well, that's honestly more hype.
I guess. But I had to, like, put my foot down once, because once it became, like, known from somebody that it was just like,
a bachelor
like, I just
pad
basically,
in high school.
yeah, I had my own place, and I also never locked the door, so like anybody could just walk in. So,
well, that's not wise.
I don't know how this works in Florida, but in New York, at the end of the year, like during finals week, it's called Regents Week. You take the bus to school, and you're just kind of stuck there all day, even though you don't have class. You just, like, have to take a test. And if, like, you don't have a test that day, then, like, you don't even have to be there, but you can still take the bus to school and take the bus home. So I had a friend, I guess this was my senior year, who was, like, a sophomore. He didn't have a car yet. So he took the bus to school, but didn't have a test that day. So he just walked to my house and just let himself in, but I wasn't there.
And so he just hung out there?
Yeah, he hung out there all day, and I think I had 2 tests that day. So I get home, and he was just there. I'm like, what the fuck? I've just been here all day. I'm like, okay.
Was he playing your Super Nintendo?
He was playing my PlayStation 2.
That's kind of cool.
He was playing Kingdom Hearts. I remember that.
Well, that's not very cool. I'm just kidding.
I think he was playing Kingdom Hearts 2, which is not very cool. I'm not a fan of 2.
People in general like 2, though, right?
They're clouded by their child. It's one of those cases where it's like Sonic Adventure 2 syndrome, because the game takes itself so much more seriously. When you're a little kid, that makes it like way more hype. But I didn't play these games for the first time until I was in my 20s. So like experiencing 2 like in its melodramatic like nonsense at that age, I'm just like, no, this is stupid. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of your Kingdom Hearts 2.
I like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
I do too, but like if you were to play that game for the first time when you're like 25, and it's like that, but like more obnoxious, I would say. I don't.
I kind of find the extremely like obviously cringe stuff fun. So
okay,
I mean, it.
It's fun on some level, but at the same time,
the Chow Garden's legitimately like gas. That thing rocks. Chow Garden.
What's weird about Kingdom Hearts 2 is they made the combat quote better, but through doing that, I'd enjoy it a lot less. If that makes any sense at all.
I get it. No, like technically, like it's like Dark Souls 3.
Sure, yeah. That's not a bad analogy, actually.
It's like everyone, oh, but the combat's so smooth and look at all this stuff I can do. It's like, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's technically better, but it was the limited moveset and limited movement and the game being built around it that made Dark Souls 1 and 2 so special.
That is exactly my feeling as Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2. Because Kingdom Hearts 1, the battling is kind of scuffed. Like, it's not the cleanest thing in the world. It's just kind of like a weird... Like, it's action-based, but, like, kind of not really. There's also a menu where you pick shit. And 2 is, like, it is smoother, and you can do a lot of combos and shit, and it is more, like, complex. But I don't like doing it nearly as much.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, I don't know. Enough about Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah.
Both are simple and clean.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hung out with my mom. I helped her move apartments. That was a whole other thing.
Jason, you came just in time. Can you help me move?
Exactly. And I did like 90% of the moving too. Because like they were working, so it was just fucking, So, like, I couldn't move for the first few days I was out there because my foot was in such pain. And then I recovered just in time to help them move. And then I helped them. And then I was
still hurting. Yeah. I remember you complained to me about that a little bit.
Well, no, because what happened there is they live in like a 3rd-story apartment, so I help them. Like, I spend all day moving shit up and down 2 flights of stairs, and then like we'd load up their car and drive it over to the new apartment, and then there was down a flight of stairs. Like, you walk into ground level and then you go down a flight of stairs to bring all the shit there. My mom was kind of like packing boxes, and then I would take the boxes and move them down, and then we'd go to the other apartment, and then she would unpack. So she wasn't going up and down these stairs. It was basically just me going up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
The next day, my calves hurt so bad. Yeah. Like, I legitimately was bedridden for like a day and a half.
And that's what you were doing when I was on the guest sessions. Like, Jason's having the time of his life in Colorado.
Yeah.
He got stuck on the worst flight ever and then helped his mom move, and his foot was fucked up from playing basketball directly on the concrete, and his calves were burning so bad he couldn't walk.
I mean, it was... We did fun stuff, too. Like, we went to South Park, like, where the fucking show was based on. I had to talk them into doing that because it was like a 2-hour drive. And, they only got 2 days off, like, together, like her and her husband or whatever. So we roped him into going too.
There you go.
We went to that stupid hot dog stand, which isn't actually in the town. It's a fucking hour away. So it was like an even further drive to get to the hot dog stand. And then the hot dogs were $10 each, and I felt bad about making them go there.
I'm sorry we drove an hour for $10 hot dogs, guys. Were they at least all beef?
I don't know. The worst part is neither one of them even like watched South Park. So it was like just a trip for me.
Well, you know what? Maybe they felt like they owed you one after the moving situation.
Maybe. This was before though. This was like
it was before.
Okay. This was like after I had like my foot had recovered enough to walk, but like before I couldn't move again.
Then they cashed in. They cashed in on the hot dogs, and they're like, you know what? You should help us move.
We went to IKEA. That was IKEA is always fun.
IKEA is fun. I like going. I've only been to the one, I think in Jacksonville one time, but I had a good time.
That one's kind of shitty, I think. That one's only one story, I think. Right?
I don't know. I thought
Is it two?
Actually, hold up. It might have been Orlando.
Okay, Orlando's,
it was two stories. So,
that one's good. That one's good.
The one I went to was 2 stories and in Florida, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. We walked around there. We bought some like bullshit for their new apartment. What else? What else did we do? We went.
Actually, my desk. Actually, I should mention this is from IKEA.
Yeah.
It's actually a countertop.
Yeah.
I just screwed legs onto it.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, my mom went with me for a day of thrift shopping. That was fun. So the plan, like before I knew I was getting her car, was just to drive her car around while I was out there and finish up, filming the thrift store video out there. I'm like, oh, that would be a good ending to the video. So I held off on like filming in Florida. Mm-hmm. That end I was sick, so I really couldn't have, even if I wanted to. Because like I probably could have finished it in Florida, but I'm like, you know what? If I wait a little bit, I can finish it in Colorado, and that'd be fun. And then I can go to Wyoming, and that would be fun. Always wanted to go to Wyoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wanted to go there.
I was trying to convince you to go to the Grand Tetons.
I don't know what that is.
It's a national park. It's those huge ass mountains I sent you.
Oh, that was like the other fucking side of the state.
But you're close enough.
I mean, yeah, if I'm gonna go all that way, I might as well, right?
We can go together. We'll go together. We'll play Game Boy Advance
on the way
with the link cables on in the Grand Tetons.
On the way to Portland Retro Gaming, whatever.
Yeah, on Portland the way. Yeah, we'll swing by the Grand Tetons on the way to Portland Retro Gaming Expo to meet up with Brendan of the Crawl, who lives in Portland.
The fact that like your idea of going to that is to drive it is insane to me. Just because you gotta go back though. That's what sucks. Like going there once is fine, but like having to go back is the worst.
Here's the thing, like we hit up Wyoming, Montana, Colorado. We hit all that stuff up on the way up. On the way back, we're swinging down through California, baby. We're going to Yosemite National Park. Then we're hitting up the Redwoods. Then we're going down to the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
Right? I mean, literally, you could do the most epic retro gaming tour. Think of all the thrift stores on the way, man. I mean, it'd be absolutely insane.
It could be like our Metal Jesus RV trip.
Yeah, exactly.
Pack it full of beer and games and
waiting for Nintendo's. Yeah, I've got the Happy Console, or not Happy Console Gamer, the classic game room pint glasses ready to go.
Hell yeah. Yeah, just take a month off from work and, we'll do it. Whatever, it'll be fun.
Yeah, you just got to build up some time, man.
Just got to build up a month's worth of vacation time.
But, we've hung out with our mom, your mom.
Yeah.
We flew there, we drove back. Are there any other mysterious details from the trip? Any behind the scenes things?
Not really, honestly. I mean, the drive back was kind of uneventful. It was just kind of like I drove and I moseyed, like I got out. I went to Syracuse, Kansas. That was kind of cute. Yeah. I wore a Syracuse shirt and like walked around, and I was hoping somebody would be like, "Hey," but that never happened.
At least one person would get the joke.
Yeah, nobody cared. Like nobody gave a shit.
You know what's funny? Something from your latest video reminds me of what you just said. I liked the part in the latest video where you're like, they said I was the best volunteer worker they ever had. And I was secretly hoping that they would give me a job, and that's why I was working so hard. But they didn't. But I also never asked.
True. It's true. It's all true. It's all true.
It's like you're wearing your Syracuse shirt like someone's going to notice, though, right? Like, guys, come on.
Weird thing about Syracuse, Kansas is the whole town plays music over a PA system.
What?
I'm not making this up. It's a town of like 2,000 people. Like it's really small.
So they just got like a town DJ that's like,
I don't know what it just fucking was. I got out of the car and I thought it was like the business because I parked in front of a restaurant, and then I kept like walking around and I could just hear the music everywhere, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I noticed at the top of like where the streetlights are, there are also speakers, and the speakers are where the music was coming from.
Was it classical music?
It was music. It was 80s. It was like to the 80s station. It was like 80s pop music. It was like Rick Astley. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Maybe that's just them telling everyone who's not from there to get out.
Yeah. Strange place. There's no fast food at all. It's like just a town in the middle of nowhere.
That's kind of awesome.
It is. I mean,
did you get some food?
I did. I went to fuck.
A diner,
I
a
don't remember
drive-in,
the
or a
name.
dive?
It was a burger place. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, I know.
You can check your credit card statement.
I could, I guess.
But no, it's not important.
No,
We have the name
I
now. I'm
paid-
just saying
I
if you
paid-
ever wanted to remember.
I paid cash.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Oh well.
Oh, well.
Yeah, on the way back, what else? I slept in quote one of the poorest towns in America. That was fun. And the crime rate was horrible. And if
and you had your new car.
Yeah. Well, it's not new. It's from like 2017, you know.
Hey, that's
New
new
to
to
me.
me.
Yeah, I mean, it's the newest car I've ever driven.
Yeah.
I guess I could go over my car history because I've kind of have a streak of not paying for cars. This is my 5th car. I've only paid for one of them. So
That's a good kind of streak to have.
that is a good streak to have because it's like car 1 my mom gave me, hand me down from mom. So hell yeah.
Excellent. You love
That
the
was
hand-me-down.
that was a 2000 Ford Focus and it was orange. So that was cool.
You
then,
are an orange fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally like the orange, but also you do like the color outside of just
That's my favorite
Syracuse.
color. Yeah, it's my favorite color. Second car, dad died, got his car.
There you go.
Third car, hold on, am I getting my carnology? No, this is the one I paid for. This was the
Your
Jeep.
carnology. The carnology.
This is the one that I used for like plumbing when I did that. So that was clutch.
Was it a truck?
No, it was like a Jeep. You know, it
Oh,
was a
Jeep.
Jeep.
Oh, yeah. We talked about the death rattle.
Yeah, the guy across the street from you was the same one. So, yeah, it's like a Jeep Cherokee from the early 90s. It was cool, but the thing is, I needed car boomers in my life to have that thing because
Yeah, to fix it.
it would break like every couple months.
Yeah.
And my uncle and my grandpa really loved cars. Like their whole life was fucking cars. So, you know, they were happy to work on it, I guess. I don't know if they were happy to work on it, but they did.
But hey, it's something to do, right?
And then my car and then I still have this car technically because I haven't gotten rid of it. My grandpa died and I got his car. So that's car 4. That was the HHR from
That's the one that had the
2010.
door with the string.
Yes, this is the one of the door no longer works.
And hey,
and then
that's
car 5, my mom gave me a car. So yeah. There we go.
Jason's 5th car.
I got it registered today and it costs $400, so
Not bad though, considering.
it's yeah,
that
I mean,
that
considering I got
feels
it.
dumb because it's like why? But
Yeah.
it's like
Well, technically,
I mean, free
I had to
car.
buy. Technically, I had to buy it from my mom because you can't just like give it without paying taxes or some shit.
oh, okay.
So I bought it for $2. Like we took a picture. I'm handing her a $2 bill, and yeah, I don't even have it. I think it's on my mom has it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, did you use the $2 bill?
Yeah. I have hundreds of $2 bills. Like,
Do you
it's the
really?
thing. Yes, that's not even like a bid. Like I actually have tons of them.
Okay, the way you said that, like, yes, you're like, get off my ass. I have
Yeah.
hundreds of $2 bills.
Well, I've been set for so long because I used to just go to every bank and just ask for them, and I could normally only get 1 or 2 at a time. But one day, a few years ago, I went
many-
to
How many
I
gold
went to-
dollars do you have?
not as many as I used to. I used to get into those too, but I have the book. I have the book of presidential
Yeah.
gold dollars filled out. So
So
at
you've
least however
actually
many's
got
in
like
there.
a decent retirement and $2 bills and gold dollars and stuff.
They're not.
saved up.
They're not worth anything. They're worth exactly what they like. What's on the face.
Sorry to interrupt the $2 bill story.
No, when I was I wish I could remember where this was, but I went to a bank, a Chase. Chase is where my like main account is, like my bank account.
I don't like
And-
Chase.
And I asked, well, I got them because it was everywhere. Because my first
Yeah.
bank was a bank that I didn't realize was only in upstate New York. So I decided to get a national chain, and then I switched to Chase.
If you're moving around a lot, it helps.
Yeah. So I went into like a Chase branch, and I'm like, all right, you got any $2 bills? And he's like, how many you want? And I'm like, how many you got? And he's like, as many as you want. And I'm like, I'm just playing that game. And I'm like, what does that mean? Because I'll get a shitload of them. And it turns out he actually had like a fucking like briefcase full of them. Like at a fucking mafia show. You open it up and the briefcase of $2 bills. So I got I think I got $600 worth, and I've just been set ever since.
Sorry. This is too much. This
What?
is just like, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like your average viewer is going to have learned so much about you from this one segment. It's about your trip, but it's basically your life story. And it's just like, oh, Jason Graves, that guy who has like $600 in $2 bills.
Well, it's significantly less than that now, but I still have a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
have
you
an
actually spend them. That's fun.
Yeah, I have an uncut sheet of $2 bills because you can't do this anymore, but I don't know when they stopped. But when I first like got a job and money and stuff, you could order uncut sheets of currency from the government. So I ordered an uncut sheet of $2 bills.
This is for some reason
Which I still
so hilarious.
It's like a big poster. I could unroll it and it's just like a sheet. It's just like an actual sheet of $2 bills. It's pretty cool.
What was like the driving factor of wanting to get the $2 bills?
I just think they're beautiful.
I just think they're neat.
They're
it's
the
like
prettiest,
the Marge thing. One of the only Simpsons
they're-
references I know.
They're the prettiest dollar, I think.
It's true.
IMO.
The font is really nice. Yeah.
Well, they never updated it. It's kind of like the $1 bill, like the 5, the 10, and the 20, and the 50, 100 all got like updated in the 2000s. But for whatever reason, they left the 1 alone. They also left the 2 alone. And it's not like they stopped printing them. Like they still make $2 bills, just not in as high quantities. Yeah, they did. It's still they still make them. It's just not in as high a quantity as the other ones because it's not used as much. But yeah, like they still do print them. It's not like they're like that's a common misconception is people think that they stopped doing them in like the 70s or something. That's not true. That's just the last time they updated the design. It just has looked the same since then. But they still print them. Like I can grab one. What year is this one from? Like we got some here. Like it's 2003. That one's a little old. Okay, that one's from 76. That one's pretty old.
Yeah.
This one's 2013. That's kind of new.
That's pretty. That's
2013. Yeah.
I would say 2013 still feels like my current era of my life. Like that feels close enough to touch.
I mean, it was 12 years ago, but still.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, I'm saying like it's not like they've been gone forever. So
I did get some gold dollars. I think in like 2016. I just wanted some. I was like, you guys got any? Because like that's for some reason that sounds appealing to me right now, and they did.
I will say it's been less personable since I moved to Florida. This was more of a New York era thing, my $2 bill obsession. It's still kind of persisted since I moved to Florida, but like those were the prime years because I lived in a town of about 1,000 people and there were
prime $2 bill years.
There were 2 banks in town and I would just go to them. They knew me by name and they would just like they'd see me and get them ready. Like if they had any, they would just like
It's the $2.
Exactly. Like they knew me.
Well, you know, this is a common thing with like coin hunters. Do you know about coin hunting?
Vaguely. I've never really been into that.
Well, people, you know, it's just like, hey, you get like rolls and rolls and rolls of quarters, and you're searching for the ones that are pure silver.
Yeah, because they're old enough. That's a shame because people do this with $half too, and it takes out the ones that were made before the 60s. Yeah,
exactly.
Which sucks.
And I feel like, you know, probably it's harder and harder to get those. First of all, because it's like a hobby for some people.
Yeah, exactly.
But also because I feel like if I'm a bank, it's just like, yeah, let's maybe separate those.
Yeah.
Those are actually worth something. So
I will say from experience of just trying to get $2 bills, you can get dollar coins pretty much anywhere. Everybody always has dollar coins. But $half and $2 bills, it's like a 50-50 shot. You'll get some. Yeah. If you walk into a bank and ask, like sometimes they won't have them and sometimes they will. So, yeah.
This totally got derailed.
Well, I mean, you know, I don't know.
This is definitely another segment, right?
No, it's probably just one. It's about my trip.
The trip. The
it's all on the
$2
trip.
bills thing is so good. It's so good.
I mean, I guess. You know who Casey Neistat is?
Yeah, he's that blogger.
I've only watched one video of his because he has like a similar thing with the $2 bill, and he has like a vlog about the $2 bill. That's the only video of his I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think I've ever actually seen one. I know he was in YouTube's infamous YouTube Rewind, a really bad one with Will Smith.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a huge YouTube guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who the
I feel
fuck
like
he
that
is.
whole style of YouTubing kind of died, right? The vlog, the daily
Yeah.
vlog.
Sort of.
This is
You don't see
basically
it
a daily vlog.
You don't see it that much no more, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, like if you ever see me, I pretty much always have some $2 bills on me at least.
That's badass.
Yeah. I think by the end of my trip, I ran out with ones on me, though. Like, I went through them. So, you know.
It's
It
cool.
happens.
That's the coolest part of it, is that you actually use them. And so you
Oh,
know
of
what?
course.
You know what's cool
Yeah.
actually about that is literally every person you come into contact with that you spend your $2 bills with, they're like, cool.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's like some guy
that or
used
they're
$2
annoyed.
bills today, and it's like, really?
That or they're annoyed, or that or the cashier's like, we don't take these. And I'm like, yeah, you do. I literally,
You have to
I
take
literally,
them.
I
You have to
literally
take
Jedi mind tricked somebody once, and like, by just that was the exact interaction. It was some teenager. This was before Walmart had self checkout. This was fucking forever ago. Now that I think about it, but I handed like the girl at Walmart a $2 bill, and she's like, we don't take these, and I'm like, yes, you do, and then she just did. That was that was a nice Obi-Wan moment.
That's what they call Riz nowadays.
No, that's what they called Riz 2 years ago. They don't call it that now.
Actually, you're right. That was kind of a flash in the pan. I feel like that term has died a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I don't think I've
nobody
heard
says-
anyone use it recently.
Nobody says Riz anymore.
The second you hear a like Gen current or like Gen upcoming term used in a commercial on TV is the second it's dead. Like when I think there was like a commercial where they said the word Riz, and I thought, and I was like, it's over. It's over for Riz.
I wish I could like tell you stories about shit I did with my mom, but we really just kind of hung out and watched movies, and we played a round of Seinfeld Clue. That was fun.
Oh, you actually played Seinfeld Clue?
We did. Okay, so here's a little saga. I bought the Monopoly in the trip, and then I'm like, hey guys, do you want to play this old Monopoly? And my mom's husband was like, no, I hate board games. They suck. But later I learned that he loved Seinfeld, because we watched Seinfeld together, and I knew that he loved it. And then when I got Seinfeld Clue, I'm like, hey, what if I told you that
What?
today what if I told you that today I found a Seinfeld board game? Huh? You interested? And then he relented, and I brought out the Seinfeld Clue, and we played around. And I won, of course. I've never
There you
lost
go.
a game of Clue in my life, by the way.
Oh,
It's never happened.
I've played maybe 5 games of Clue in my life, so.
I've probably played like a good dozen. And,
I
yeah,
remember there's an envelope, and that's where you put the cards with the clues,
Yeah.
right?
exactly. Well,
It's
it's you
fun.
gotta. The point of the game is to guess what's in the envelope,
Exactly.
or figure out what's in the envelope. Yeah.
And you say who did it by pointing out those things as evidence, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was an infrequent game we'd play. I remember at my dad's house, we played it a few times. Like my mom's, we played it. Yeah, you know, I had it at both houses. We played it a couple times each, maybe once a year, and I never lose. I'm not saying that I'm good. I'm just saying that everybody I played was bad.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
everybody I was playing was just working on the base, like check off the thing that they show me. Well, I'm like keeping track of what everybody shows everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's just that's just what you got to do. That's not even like a flex. Like everybody watching can beat me. It's just that everybody I played is bad.
You know, Monopoly, it eventually boils down to just kind of like chance.
Yeah,
If
Well,
you
it's-
know
you-
to just
you
buy
gotta get-
everything,
yeah.
then it's chance.
It's the first couple rings around the board. Like whoever can get the best shit.
Well,
there.
it's chance and wearing people down with trades. It's both
Yeah.
of those things. Yeah.
exactly.
Because eventually, nothing's been happening for so long that 2 people will trade, and now they both have monopolies. So now you got to make your monopoly, or you're basically done.
I enjoy Monopoly, but I've probably had more games abandoned than finished.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should play Monopoly on the GameCube, because I
The
love
GameCube?
Monopoly on the GameCube.
I love the one on the Super Nintendo.
For some reason, I was always begging my buddy who had Monopoly for his GameCube to play, and he almost never wanted Monopoly. again."
My mind's eye for Monopoly GameCube is like a slow, infuriating piece of crap, but I'll definitely play it with you.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
and
all right.
what I need, I've never played this, but I really want to, and you own it. We need to play Fortune Street.
Oh yeah. I forgot to bring that last time. Just remind me next time ever I go up there.
Yeah, when I found out that they had the Dragon Quest II cast in the game, I was like, "You're serious? Like, I have to play this with the Mario characters? Come on."
Enough about my trip. I mean, this is the second one in a row we've gone for like fucking 40 minutes.
Well,
barely even talking.
I feel like we gotta split it into 2 parts, right? We're barely talking about the trip now.
Well, I'm the one editing this, right? I would assume.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's my call. It's my call, so it's probably going to be 1.
All right.
Okay. All right. Shallow and Pedantic. It's still going. Like and subscribe, everybody.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, a note about that. I got to tell this story. In my recent thrift store video, when I was recording the ending, which I think was actually either the day of or the day before it was posted, like I recorded that pretty close to like when I went up, like pretty close to when I was done with it. I actually signed off with I started to I was like and subscribe and show. I'm like, wait a second, that's not how we end. That's not how we end things on this channel. What the fuck? I don't say that.
Shallow and Pedantic too.
Yeah, I mean, I started
or just like and subscribe.
It was like and subscribe, and then like mentally the next words were shallow and pedantic. But then I'm just like, wait a second, that's not right.
I'm surprised we still say it honestly. I think
really
we both
dumb.
thought it was gonna die.
It's really dumb, but yeah, whatever. No, but I started to sign off with that before I had to catch myself. I'm like, wait a second, I had to remind myself what my fucking closing thing was. I'm like, yeah, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
See, if you watch Eagle Eye, there's a cut there. Cut right before I sign off. Oh, actually, wait a second. I think I overlaid the Patreon screen so you wouldn't be able to tell. Yeah, whatever. That's probably when the Patreon screen comes up, actually.
How many things do you include in your videos, like little secret things that if you pause, you'll notice them? Do you ever do that? Because I do that in mine.
I do that less as time goes on, sadly. If you go back to like my older videos, I did that all the time. But
it is high effort.
I do sneak in like references that only like one person will get.
Yeah.
Sometimes like in the thrift store video, here's an example, and I'm glad that he got it. I put in an OSW quote, and he picked it up.
There you go.
Yeah. There's an OSW where the wrestler gets the tag team championship, and he's like, "Yeah, I got this. What a pittance!" And then he throws it. So I said that in the video. Yeah, it was literally just for him.
We'll see if OSW is still here at the end of your trip.
Yeah, who knows?
He might be.
The very end.
The very end. If he made it through all the $2 bill talk and
that would be ridiculous. All right. Well,
like and subscribe.
Yeah, we already ended this. We'll do. Okay.
Well,
Let's
we could do a
this.
post-credit segment.